30 Filipinos who claim to be victims of an illegal recruiter have come forward to complain in the office of the Department of Labor and Employment. They now seek the government's help. JL Asayo tells us why.
30 individuals who complained of being victims of an online scam went to the office of the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE's Task Force Against Human Smuggling. They said they have been victimized by an illegal recruiter who have offered them jobs abroad. They identify the recruiter as Cindy Lapura of Kalumpit, Bulacan. The victim said Lapura's husband, Jason Mercado, connives with her in her operations. One of the victims narrated that in October last year, she came to know Lapura on Facebook. Lapura's Facebook has posts of job offers in China, New Zealand, and Palau. Another victim, Angel, who came from Mindanao, shared she applied for a job with Lapura because of lack in financial resources in the province.
Mataas yung sahod na offer niya, nasa 60,000 as housekeeping po yon. Ngayon, umuwi ako ng Mindanao para doon na lang sana maghintay ng visa. Pero tinawagan niya kami kasi daw direct hire nga daw. Kung gusto kong makaalis talaga, kailangan na magbigay kami ng pera sa kanya.
She even pawned a piece of land and sold her livestock to raise money to cover her expenses for her supposed application. Angel had been scheduled to fly to New Zealand December 28 last year as house helper. Annabelle shared the same experience. She was offered a job in China as a domestic helper. Her trip had been put off twice.
Yung asawa ko, sir, alam nila na naloko ako, pero yung mga kamag-anak ko, yung kapatid ko, alam nila nakaalis na ako.
The 30 victims were able to gather after one of them posted about Lapura's modus operandi. They then decided to complain in the DOLE office. Lapura was able to collect over 500,000 pesos from her victims. Authorities are now on the hunt for Lapura, who is facing charges for large-scale illegal recruitment with life imprisonment as one of the punishments. With this, DOLE continues to remind Filipinos not to easily believe recruiters who offer jobs abroad, especially those who advertise their job offers and recruitment online.
Unang-una po, they should not depend on the Facebook, no? Kasi may mga addresses yung mga legal na yan. So, if I were them, dapat puntahan nila mismo yung legitimate na opisina.
JL Asayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
The Philippine National Police says changes in the rank classifications within the organization is not a form of militarization. Leah Ilagan tells us why.
Bravo Company Commander and Staff Police Chief.
The Philippine National Police, or PNP, denies there is militarization going on within the organization. This amid the changes in rank classifications of policemen. PNP spokesperson, Police Senior Superintendent Bernard Banak, assured that Filipinos must not be threatened with such developments. With this, the police official stated the PNP will remain its being civilian in nature, such as what is stated in the local government code. The PNP spokesperson explained only the names of the rank will change, but not the police mandate and duty.
Ang magiging militarisasyon dahil walang pagbabago sa mandato at mission ng Philippine National Police. Ganun pa rin to enforce the law, prevent and control crime, maintain peace and order, ensure public safety. So walang magbabago ron.
It can be recalled that President Rodrigo Duterte signed Republic Act 11200, or an act providing for the rank classification in the Philippine National Police. Banak explained that rank classifications such as general, colonel, major, captain, inspector, lieutenant, sergeant, corporal, and patrolman are being brought back.
Ang kagandahan pa nito, yung koordinasyon sa Armed Forces of the Philippines at iba nating mga counterparts sa ibang bansa. Dahil alam na natin sa bawat isa na kung ano yung counterpart ng ranggo. Halimbawa, ang Police Chief Inspector, ang katapat pala nun sa Armed Forces of the Philippines at sa ibang bansa ng mga ahensya ay Major.
Many PNP officials welcome the measure.
Mas maganda para sa akin yung ibalik yung dating rank ko na police lieutenant, police captain. So as not sabi ko nga para wala nang confusion kasi kung minsan superintendent akala di mo alam kung school superintendent o division superintendent ng mga DepEd eh. So hindi naiintindihan talaga. Usually ang tawag naman sa amin ng mga kakilala natin, kaibigan natin, colonel, hindi naman police senior superintendent.
We gladly welcome the changes in the rank classification ng Philippine National Police. Kasi ako in the past na observe ko din kasi pagka sinabi mo yung dating rank namin na anong rank ko muna? Police Chief Inspector, anong equivalent dun sa AFP? So, sasabihin pa na police major, ganun. Ngayon, dahil same na rin halos ang classification with the AFP, at least maiwasan natin yung mag-create ng confusion sa public.
Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG Secretary Eduardo Año, for his part, said they are set to immediately implement the changes in rank classifications through a donning ceremony. Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
Malacanang maintains its no ransom policy despite the terrorist group Abu Sayyaf's threats. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said the government is doing its best in securing the release of all the Abu Sayyaf group or ASG's captives, particularly the 2 Indonesian and 1 Malaysian hostages. The ASG released a new video threatening to behead their hostages if ransom is not paid. The palace is firm on not giving in to the demands of the terrorists, as this would only embolden the ASG to do more criminal activities. The government security forces are also determined to pursue and crush the terrorist group. Animal welfare organizations urge the government to intensify pet birth control in the country. Here's why from Rosa Ricos.
300 to 600 Filipinos die every year due to rabies. Rabies is a viral disease that causes inflammation of the brain in humans and other mammals. In 2000, the Philippines ranked 3rd worldwide in rabies incidents. This is based on the report of the Department of Health's National Rabies Information System. With this, several animal welfare organizations such as Bantay Animal Welfare, in coordination with the Philippine Pet Birth Control Center, have organized a free spay and neuter program for pet dogs and cats. The program aims to prevent the rising number of stray animals, which is one reason for the increase in the number of rabies cases in the country. Jerry Ruiz, a Caloocan City resident, has 2 pet dogs. He had his pet Aspin Tisay spayed.
Parang pamilya na rin namin, sir.
Spaying or neutering pets is also one way to prevent animal abuse and negligence. Bantay Animal Welfare also appeals to the government to intensify pet birth control, especially in barangays.
Isa po yan sa mga pinagmumulan ng sakit, sama ng loob, at hindi po at kaguluhan po dito sa ating kapag marumi, kapag marami po mga stray na animals. So panawagan po namin, sana po magkaroon tayo ng mga programang katulad nito na manggagaling mismo sa ating mga pamahalaan at sa ating mga mambabatas at sa mga LGUs.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The first marketable blood test to detect breast cancer has been developed in Germany, and the researchers call their finding a milestone in diagnosing the disease. Rheena Villamor-Camara explains why.
German researchers have developed a blood test that could detect breast cancer cells in patients. Researchers at the University Women's Hospital, a branch of Heidelberg University Hospital, said on a Thursday that the new method of liquid biopsy is non-invasive and has already detected 15 different types of breast cancer cells in patients.
Liquid biopsy means we are trying to get a diagnosis via body fluids, mainly blood, to prove certain parameters which correlate to cancer.
Researchers added blood tests can also be used to detect small tumors. The blood test requires only a few milliliters of blood and can be performed at any laboratory.
This accumulation of cells does not necessarily have something to do with the activity of a tumor, ultimately with the growth of a tumor, whereas with liquid biopsy, we would like to measure the tumor's activity, and that's something totally different.
Heidelberg University Hospital said the test is particularly beneficial for women under the age of 50 and those with a family history of breast cancer. Over 900 women were studied using the new method, of whom 500 had breast cancer and 400 were healthy patients. Breast cancer is the most common form of cancer to affect women in Germany, with around 70,000 women developing breast cancer last year. According to the World Health Organization, cancer is the second most frequent cause of death in Europe, with more than 3.7 million new cases and 1.9 million deaths each year. Rheena, Villamor-Camara, UNTV News and Rescue.
Wishers still have the chance to increase the power views of their favorite Wishcovery Season 2 finalists. Mirasol Abugadil tells us why.
The power viewing for the Wish-exclusive performances of the finalists in Wishcovery Season 2 The Singer and the Song continues. So wishers, log in to Wish 1075's YouTube channel. Hit the play and replay buttons on and on to show how much you root for and how much you want your favorite Wishcovery Season 2 grand finalists to win. And start power viewing. As of 2 p.m. today, Rhea Basco's Hingang Malalim, penned by Junji Marcelo, continues to lead with 33,000 views and counting. Moy Ortiz composition for South Luzon's Paula Guevara, I Am the Singer and This Is My Song, has more than 27,000 views now. Gising Kabataan, written by Noel Cabangon for Iloilo's Tweety Salas, also has over 27,000 views. Light in the Dark, which Top Susar crafted for Cebu's Nashreen Casas, is on the 4th place with over 23,000 views. Mindanao's Pride, Angelica Bermoy's Alamat, written by Boy Christopher, is not left behind with 21,000 views and counting. Wishcovery from Canada, Audrey Arellano's Nasayo, created by Wishcover composer Odette Quesada, has been viewed over 19,000 times. Ana Marie Ginsisana's Wish-exclusive video of Ang Sakit-Sakit Naman, written by her composer Wishcover Benny Saturno, is not in pain with more than 15,000 views because there are 3 more days to power view it. OPM hitman Rani Raimundo's song Maliit na Kwadrado will not be kept inside a small square, as it has been viewed by Jemmy Picardal's fan for over 15,000 times.
Hanggang dito na lang ba tayo sa maliit na kwadrado na titinghinan buong gabi, magkaharap ngunit di mag-away.
So wishers, keep on power viewing, as your support to your favorite Wishcovery Season 2 finalist will still count until noon of Monday, February 25th. Remember, the power viewing result will compose 25% of the final score of every singer and the song finalist. Be there on February 26, Tuesday, for the final vocal battle of 8 singing gems from Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao and Canada at the Big Dome in Wishcovery Season 2, The Singer and the Song. Mirasol Abugadil, UNTV News and Rescue.
Up next on Y News. Motorists told to brace for another big-time oil price hike next week.
I am very happy and grateful, and for a place like this to exist, it's a big help for everybody else, for all the artists.
And Filipino actor Isagani Isay Rivera blasts among the artists who are currently residing in a performing arts lodge in Canada. Thank you for keeping me company in the first part of Wine News. More reasons behind the stories with Angelo, Castro III after this quick break. I'm Angela Lagunsad. Happy weekend and good evening.
Welcome back to Wine News. We pick up from where Angela Lagunzad left off. I'm Angelo Castro III, and here are the headlines. The Bureau of Customs seizes 2 million pesos worth of party drugs and boxes of endangered iguanas and bearded dragons at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The PPCRV calls for 300,000 volunteers who will serve as watchers in the 2019 midterm elections. And motorists bracing for another big-time oil price increase next week. A big-time oil price hike is seen next week, while the price of liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG, is expected to rise in March. Monokson will tell us why.
After 2 weeks of increases in the price of petroleum products, a big-time oil price hike looms next week. Industry players said there will be a more than 1 peso increase per liter of diesel, gasoline, and kerosene. For the first 3 days of the trading period, the increase on diesel has already reached 1 peso and 39 centavos per liter, 1 peso and 36 centavos for every liter of gasoline, and 1 peso and 32 centavos per liter of kerosene. If the trend in the market does not change, a larger increase is expected next week.
Definitely, this is not yung kaliitan lang na increase. Medyo malaki-laki itong increase.
Several reasons for the big-time price hike is the United States' sanctions on Venezuela and Iran, the US-China trade war, the 6-month production cut of OPEC and non-OPEC member countries, and the drawdown of the US crude inventory.
Ito lahat nagsasum up into volatility of the price towards kakulangan ng supply and therefore pushing the price higher.
Aside from this, the price of liquefied petroleum gas or LPG is expected to increase by 1 to 2 pesos per kilogram come March. One reason for this is the cold weather in some countries that use LPG as a heating source. The Department of Energy or DOE advises the public to take advantage of the benefits the government offers. One of this is the discount promos in gasoline stations, especially to public utility jeepney drivers. Another is its subsidy program for jeepney operators or the Pantawid Pasada program. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Taguig City.
The Bureau of Customs seizes more than 2 million pesos worth of ecstasy in Central Exchange Mail Center in Pasay City. Meanwhile, several animals considered as endangered species were also seized by authorities. Nel Maribohok will tell us why.
The Bureau of Customs in Ninoy Aquino International Airport or BOC NAIA seized a total of 3 plastic bags or 1,268 tablets of ecstasy in Central Mail Exchange Center in Pasay City. The party drugs authorities discovered is estimated the street value of is 2.1 million pesos. The said package came from the Netherlands under the name G. Bourduzen and had been declared as light box. Authorities are not able to track the individuals involved in the illegal shipment for now as there is no declared consignee for it.
PIDEA and Bureau of Customs na-determine ho that the consignee ay hindi ho nilagay ang pangalan and ang address ho ay meron but you cannot deliver any goods without anyone's name.
NAIA Customs suspect that these items might be a trial package. Party drugs are strictly monitored by authorities in accordance with President Rodrigo Duterte's order.
Potential risk niya po is yun nga po, yung cardiac arrest at sa overdose. Minsan yung mga umiinom po, hindi nila alam yung bad effects nitong ecstasy.
Authorities discovered the party drugs after the package went through the customs personnel's X-ray procedure and assessment. The NIA Customs already turned over the confiscated ecstasy package to the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA. And in the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal, BOC personnel seized yesterday animals considered as endangered species. A passenger from Bangkok, Thailand was found with the said contraband. Live animals were discovered inside the passenger's baggage after it passed through the terminal's X-ray machine. The customs personnel immediately opened the baggage and discovered several iguanas and bearded dragons. A total of 56 iguanas were found and each was placed inside the sack. 6 of the reptiles were already dead. Authorities arrested the passenger as he was not able to present any permits for his baggage of animals.
Pwede naman lang bilhin yan sa Bangkok, provided na yung nagbebenta are authorized to sell. So kung mailalabas sila, pwede silang kumuha ng tinatawag na export permit.
Under existing laws, possession of endangered species is strictly regulated. Iguanas can fetch as much as 35,000 pesos each in the black market, while bearded dragons can be priced at 25,000 pesos each. The BOC now has custody of the passenger. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasay City.
The Commission on Human Rights, or CHR, insists they support the government's intensified campaign against illegal drugs if it would be in accordance with the rule of law and if it would not result to the loss of lives. CHR spokesperson Attorney Jacqueline De Guia in a statement said they have been a supporter of the Duterte administration's war on drugs ever since. What they are against is its way of implementation. Attorney De Guia said President Rodrigo Duterte's threats to take down individuals involved in illegal drugs trade might mean as a directive for state agents not to consider due process. The CHR appeals to the government to further study its war on drugs campaign and to consider rule of law, due process, and respect for human rights. Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 205 formally begins the trial of Senator Laila de Lima's drug cases. Meanwhile, former Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Director Benjamin Magalong takes the witness stand in today's hearing. May Bermudez tells us why.
The court has formally started its trial on Senator Laila de Lima's drug-related cases. This after a 2-year delay. The Department of Justice or DOJ prosecution panel presented former CIDG Director Benjamin Magalong as their first witness.
Mula mismo sa bibig ni General Magalong, sinabi niya na sa lahat ng kanilang intelligence gathering na pre-process nila ng CIDG together with the other governmental agencies like PDEA, yung PNP, yung PAOK-TF, sinabi niya na walang integrity issue kay Senator De Lima.
Magalong revealed before the court several high-profile inmates inside the New Bilibid Prison or NBP who became subjects of Oplan Cronus, a raid in December 2014 in which authorities confiscated contrabands such as illegal drugs, firearms, phones, and other communication devices. Magalong pointed out the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group or CIDG, who initially planned Oplan Cronus, did not participate in the actual operations.
Why were they excluded? Sila nagplano, sila nag-intel, sila nag-create ng matrix. Ba't sila hindi kasali? That's a question eh. Come to your mind eh, di ba? Iba nagsaing, iba kumain. Tapos hindi pa maganda pagkaluto.
Magalong also tagged former Bureau of Corrections Officer in charge Rafael Ragos as the one receiving payola and drug money inside the NBP. Meanwhile, De Lima's camp questioned his exclusion from the list of respondents in the case.
Si Ragos, base mismo sa mga testimonya ng mga akusado, siya nga yung pinaka-guilty eh. In fact, kung narinig nyo kanina, sabi ni General Magalong, merong intelligence report na involved si Ragos sa extortion at pag nag-benefit siya sa illegal drug trade. Siya pa ngayon ini-exclude.
The prosecution in response said they have not found sufficient basis to charge the former Bucor head.
That is the prerogative of the prosecution. The prosecutors is not whether to drop or to charge somebody else. Now, nung unang panel doon, nakita nila na kulang, insufficient ang ebidensya doon so para sa kanila. sa kay Ragos na yun. So, he was dropped.
The prosecution panel is set to present their other witnesses on March 15, Friday. Mai Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Muntinlupa City.
The Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, or PPCRV, needs 300,000 volunteer poll watchers in the May 13 elections. One of the things the PPCRV will monitor is election fraud. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
The Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, or PPCRV, will extend their help again to the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, as poll watchers in the upcoming midterm elections. The PPCRV is a non-partisan, non-sectarian, non-profit organization in the Philippines that works to ensure free, fair, and fraud-free elections. It needs more than 300,000 volunteers who will be assigned in the command center and in polling precincts across the country during the May elections. The PPCRV said it will need 300 volunteers per day at the command center for the conduct of the unofficial parallel count of votes.
Please register with your parishes so that you can be a poll watcher. Also, contact me if you are interested to become a volunteer encoder at the command center.
On the day of the elections, one of the direct recipients of the election results from the vote counting machines is the transparency server. The PPCRV will get data from the said server for the conduct of the parallel count. According to PPCRV Executive Director Isabel Buenaobra, they will closely monitor election fraud.
Kasi ang pandaraya ay hindi nangyayari sa makina, kundi nangyayari on the ground. You have what you call retail cheating and wholesale cheating. Sana naman maiwasan ng pagbebenta ng mga boto ng mga mamamayan.
Aside from being volunteer poll watchers, their advocacy is free voter education, especially for the 2.1 million first-time voters in May. Buenaobra said that Filipino voters should take this opportunity to practice their right of suffrage, to elect officials who will serve the nation with honesty.
Maging mapanuri sila sa mga kandidato para malaman nila kung sino ay iboboto nila. Kailangan titingnan nila yung mga kandidato, ano ba ang issue nito tungkol sa election-related violence. Ano ba ang issue nito halimbawa sa mga mabibigat na priorities sa Pilipinas, yun ang titingnan nila. So hindi lamang personalities ang titingnan, kundi yung plataforma ng kandidato.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Pasig City mayoral candidate Councilor Vico Soto expresses his concern on health issues. He plans to strengthen health projects in the city he wishes to serve as a mayor. Grace Casin will tell us why.
In the UNTV program Get It Straight with Daniel Razon today, Councilor Vico Soto admitted that running for mayor in Pasig City in the May elections is no joke. This especially since he is the youngest councilor in the city. For him, willingness to serve the country is not measured by age.
Paano mo masasabi na makakapanungkulan ka ng mas mahusay kaysa sa kasalukuyang alkalde?
Alam niyo, Kuya Daniel, ako hindi po medyo nahihiya magbuhat ng sariling bangko. Pero confident naman po ako na bagamat bata ako, ay handa po ako para sa trabaho. Hindi lang naman po yung 2.5 years ng politika yung experience ko. Meron din akong experience na iba sa gobyerno, pati sa civil society na siguro yan ang maipagmamalaki ko na wala ang mga ibang kandidato.
Several Pasig City residents also had a chance during the program to ask the councilor on his plans for the city.
Ano ang pangunahing proyekto na nais ninyong ipatupad na hindi pa nagawa ng kasalukuyang administrasyon?
Universal healthcare o kalusugan pangkalahatan. Gaya nga po nung nabanggit natin kanina, although may national na legislation para dito, kailangan pa rin talaga natutukan ito ng lokal na pamahalaan. Ngayon po, pumunta po tayo sa public hospital sa Pasig. Sa infrastruktura, yung kasalukuyang administrasyon, okay po sila pagdating sa infrastruktura. In fact, yung General Hospital ng Pasig, kaka-renovate lang po niyan last year. Maganda, may bagong equipment, maganda tingnan. Pero po pag pumunta yung mga Pasigenyo doon, laging sasabihin, naku sorry, wala yung gamot.
Aside from health projects, Soto also plans to solve the problem on traffic congestion in Pasig City. For him, the odd-even number coding traffic scheme is just a band-aid solution. He said the Pasig River Ferry service must be improved to provide alternative means of transportation for Pasig City residents. Soto also sees that there is a need to support livelihood programs in the city. He added that his parents and even Senate President Vicente Soto III supports his decision to run for a higher elective post. Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue.
A subsidized housing program continues to support a community of performers and artists in Toronto, Canada. Bianca Quijano will tell us why.
For 25 years, the Performing Arts Lodge, or PAL, in Canada has been a home to artists and performers who have retired from their professions. Situated in Toronto, it is a charity mandated to provide affordable housing and support services to the aging, disabled, and needy members of the performing arts and affiliated industries in Canada. PAL is home to a remarkable community with a rich mix of actors, singers, dancers, designers, directors, technicians, and writers. Among those is Filipino artist Isagani Isay Rivera Blas, who hails from Malabon City. As a young performer, Isay went to the USA and Canada to become an actor, singer, dancer, and filmmaker. He was surprised when his application to be accommodated in the Performing Arts Lodge was approved.
I am very happy and grateful, and for a place like this to exist, it's a big help for everybody else, for all the artists. And I think our present board of directors right now are one of their agendas. They're trying to expand it and have another building, supposedly kind of a second PAL. And I think that will be a great opportunity for the other artists.
The 9-story building presently has 260 residents. According to Elva May Hoover, PAL's board president, the wait list is quite long for applicants who wish to avail of the affordable housing program. And waiting time takes almost 5 years.
The wait lists are quite long now. So, we have some units that are rent geared to income, some units that are market value. So the proportion of the building is 2/3 rent geared to income, which is subsidized by the city, and 1/3 market value that sort of subsidizes everybody who lives here. So that's kind of the way it works.
PAL also checks the eligibility of its applicants. And to continue carrying out its valuable work, PAL continues to operate through fundraisers and donations. It also invites donors to support the community of performers it houses by visiting its website, www.paltoronto.org. Bianca Quijano, UNTV News and Rescue, Toronto, Canada.
In Brussels, chocolate is a fashion statement. Here's why from Rheena Armilio.
Dresses made partially or absolutely of chocolate hit the catwalk in Brussels on Thursday. These yummy gowns were at the showcase of over 70 artisans with chocolate-based products from Belgium and beyond. One delicious joint creation by Italian designer Giovanni Biasiolo and chocolate maker Jean-Christophe Hubert that graced the catwalk amounted to 8 kilograms worth of chocolate. Another edible creation by Peruvian Ricardo Davila featured a staff and headdress also made of chocolate. Miss Belgium of 2006, Virginie Claes, presented the unusual fashion show that lauded the great love story that is Belgium and chocolate. The event was attended by Mayor of Brussels, Philippe Claes. Chocolatier Jean-Christophe Hubert explained the mechanics of designing dresses with a delectable ingredient.
So it's a dress made entirely of chocolate. There's steel and polystyrene, but everything is coated in chocolate with cocoa powder. Since we work with chocolate from the cocoa bean to the bar, we have emphasized the bean, the cocoa bean byproduct, and the cocoa bean, as that's really what our trade consists of.
The event showcased current trends in chocolate, including a vogue for sourcing cocoa beans from plantations in their raw state and producing from bean to chocolate, rather than sourcing chocolate to be retempered. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Up next on Y News.
How can an individual who's been embraced by the city of Chicago turn around and slap everyone in this city in the face by making these false claims?
Chicago police condemns actor Jussie Smollett for allegedly staging a racist and homophobic attack to further his career. Tokyo Olympics organizers on target to make medals using recycled metals. And the Philippine team wins Best Galactic Impact category in the 2018 NASA Space Apps Challenge. More reasons behind the stories when Y News returns.